Hello my intuitors, it's Aria here. Welcome to the Intuit Cafe. And I'm just shuffling cards right now, just about to lay them out for a reading that I'm going to do this week that I thought the focus would be really neat to do on what I'm calling the heart of the soulmate. And depending on how this works out, I might just start making it a regular thing. But one of the things I've really discovered as a card reader is that when I have something a little bit more focused to do a reading on, I get a lot better messages and information that comes through. First of all, I just want to apologize. I didn't do any readings during the week. I had a number of private readings that I was doing, but I was also kind of feeling a little stuck on daily readings and feeling like I didn't really like what was coming through that much. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't all that exciting or interesting. Maybe it has been for those of you who've watched it, and I appreciate that. I found that I get a little frustrated and a little bored when I'm just doing general readings and I'm not reading for specific clients. When I do private readings, I get so much more specific information that comes through because I am tuning into one person's energy. But then the message that is created in that process ends up being so good and so much better, I think, than when I'm doing general readings, that I had kind of an epiphany today. And I was like, you know, I really wish that I could have like a private reading for someone, but then post it for public viewing, and then allowing the viewers to, you know, you'll be able to see the questions that were asked, and of course, just you'll be able to resonate if this message is going to be similar or something along the lines of where you're headed as well. So it's kind of like your own intuition ends up tuning into the message and deciding even ahead of time, should I listen to it or not? Is it going to be, you know, filled with messages that are for me or not? I would like to have a number of people with wide variety of questions messaging me, asking for readings that, you know, will be published publicly with no names or anything attached. But because you're kind of doing me a favor for my channel by allowing me to publish it publicly, I'm going to kind of return the favor in the sense that instead of asking for a specific price for the reading, I'm going to do readings on a donation basis. So allowing you as a viewer to offer, you know, whatever it is you feel like you can afford, an energy exchange that's reasonable, go ahead and make a donation to my channel and just say, I'm interested in participating in the reading by donation. I don't know how long I'll run that special. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But I'm really hoping that I get enough people volunteering that I can, you know, maybe be posting a new reading every day. And I'll be a lot more inspired to do daily readings when I have variety. Because I find that when I'm just sitting down to do daily readings, I'm getting bored with them. So I don't know if you guys will get bored watching them. Maybe I have a lot of people who love watching them regardless, but I think that all of us will get more out of it when I'm tuning into one specific person's energy and their situation, and then allowing the rest of you to tune into that specific reading once it's already created. It's kind of like a pick a card reading, only it's a pick a reading, and you'll get to, you know, decide ahead of time, is this going to be a message? Are these questions, are they similar to my questions that I have? And then asking your higher guidance even to just tell you, yes, this has a message for you, or no, it doesn't. So without any further ado, let's get right on into your reading by your sign of the zodiac. And thanks so much for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, Gemini, this is your heart of the soulmate reading for this week, and the first two cards on the left here are the Tower, which is about businesses or corporations or something that's structured and there are having to do with rules, and then Anchor or staying put. The center is the house where you live, and then here is small bugs, small worries, anxiety, and stress. And then a book which is learning, studies, knowledge-based projects and activities. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. This could be you or the person that you're dealing with, and this is what is the center of the situation for that person in regards to love. So again, if you're watching the sun as your sun sign for yourself and it's not resonating, or for the other person and it's not resonating, try the moon or the rising as well. might be a more on point message for you today. But this one does look to be about someone who is still in a state of being stuck and anchored within rules or structures. And I'm feeling like, even though this is like, if this were not specifically a soulmate reading, then I would read it more literally with the, about businesses and corporations. But I'm feeling it's more about like the 3D energies here on Earth that are based on these rules and these structures and the like the network of, or the matrix of the energies that, and how they're constructed in within us, our programming regarding them. And this person right now is still quite anchored and stuck in those rules and regulations. In other words, their actions and everything that's going on with them right now in regards to love is being influenced by this. This is not necessarily a bad thing, except for the fact that I do believe most of the people who watch my channel or who are interested in these readings are on some kind of a more divine love type of journey, in that you're exploring and living out in your own life, likely, and maybe not for everybody out there, but for many people, you're living out and learning how to, or exploring kind of higher levels of love, which are coming, or the whole purpose of these love relationships, these heart catalyst type of relationships, is to pull away from the structures and the rules and the matrix, the paradigms that we've lived in. We're like rewriting the rules on love, as it were, instead of love and relationships being based in these structures and rules. We're really here to change that. So it's not a bad thing necessarily that this person is still anchored in those, but it's like saying what you're seeing from them right now is because they're anchored in those. We all are. This is really true for all of us, but in particular, the message is being brought up for you that this person's activities, the actions, how they are interacting with you or how they're not interacting with you, has to do with that. And the central point here is the house, the home, where you or they live, or maybe both of you live, but that's the central thing. So it has to do in some way with what's going on in their home. But it is causing worries, anxiety, and stress for them. And in regards to those worries, though, there is something learning. Some learning is coming through to them. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is I actually do see progress here, even though they're anchored into these energies right now. And the energies is causing stress at home. They are actually in the process through this circumstance that are unfolding. They're actually learning, and this is about, the whole point of this experience of what they're going through at this time has to do with, it as part of their studies, like their soul studies, as it were. What are we here to learn, and what are we're going through these experiences for the reason, and the reason we're here is to be learning, but it's also about growing, because knowledge-based projects, activities, that is about growing in knowledge, increasing in knowledge. And so there is, something good that is coming from all of that, but that's just the story. That's what's going on with him. If you are wanting to know what's going on in the heart of the soulmate, it's that the actions they're doing or the actions they're not doing is because of being anchored in the matrix. It is from the programming, and it's affecting the home life in some way. It is causing anxieties, but it's all for the growth, the process of growth, and moving forward, actually, in the long term. So I do want to pull a couple more cards here. What we have here, so we have camera, exposure, ego, electricity. So the card is camera, and then the keywords are exposure, ego, and electricity. So this situation is putting exposure on, or we are putting exposure on that situation right now, or they are having exposure. That's what it is in their own life. This situation is exposing what's really going on for them on a deeper level, which really has to do with the ego, which is programming. To me, the ego, the human ego, is all about this programming that I was talking about here. So it's about putting exposure on that for them, so they can see where the anxieties are coming from, and then in that process they can learn and grow from it. So let's see what we get. Solitude on your own. It is something they have to do on their own. I do feel that this, for a lot of you, is somebody you're watching from afar, and maybe at times it even is causing you anxiety and frustrating for you, but it's also a learning experience from you as you see them go through it. You're also probably paralleling or having mirroring in your own, experience if you're watching them, or this could be about you. Although, the whole point of these readings is about the heart of the soulmate, so you can have insights into what's going on in their heart. But I also feel like there is growth in it for you as well. But regardless, it's something they have to do on their own. You can't, if you're in separation from them at this time, or if this is causing a separation, it's for good purpose. It needs to happen that way. Or if you're considering a separation, it does look like that would be advisable at this time, because, or even if it's not separation, but you're just pulling back to some degree, or just allowing them to go through on this is something part of their journey, what they need to go through, and just surrendering and allowing them to do this on their own is really going to be your best, your best method and way forward. It'll be better for you, if you just allow it to happen that way. So, all right, let's go ahead and see. I just don't know why here, but I want to pick a couple more cards about something moving forward, because I do feel like, okay, so some optimism, success. So they're going to make it through this situation. It's going to turn out well. It will build confidence, courage, and they'll, have a triumphant, outcome to this. But I also feel like a lot of times people are wanting to know, like, time-wise. I feel like this is something that's been going on for a while and may continue on a little bit longer. The child, something new, a new beginning. So a new beginning will come out of this when, this will be successful, will open the way for a new beginning, which is encouraging for those of you who I feel like in this situation, because of the solitude, this is someone who's separate from you right now. And okay, there we go. I get more on timing there with slow and steady growth. I had a feeling this is going to be something, and it doesn't mean that if you are in a state of separation from this person, or taking some time apart right now, doesn't necessarily mean that will last forever, or that will be a very long time. This can be a process that you can come back together and be together moving forward with on your own. That progress is slow and steady. It will continue. So, this whole story, this scenario, what they're working on, what's happening, will continue for a while, but the solitude will continue for a little while, but in some cases it may be longer than others. I do feel like it's going to be a little slow, but still, have courage, because there is a new beginning in the making for you guys. So just again, I want to say, if you do want to reach out to me for a discounted reading, or reading based on a donation at whatever you feel like you can afford, go ahead and email me to the email in the notes below. And by a donation basis, I will do a reading for you, but it will be posted publicly. I won't say anybody's names by any means, but I will send you the link so that you know that is your reading. I will be reading it just for you, but then wanting to open up the opportunity for other people to glean and gain from the reading, something that might resonate with them as well. So hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you around.